Monsieur Poisson, may I ask you a very simple question, sir? Who the heck killed Wonder Woman? Well, anyway, hi ladies and dudes, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop 1987. This is my review for today. And today I do have a review, ladies and dudes, but before I do that, I gotta let you know is this. I'm very, very darn sorry that I haven't done a movie review for a while. Because, so many issues here and there for the rest of the year of 2022. It's becoming downhill again with the gas prices going up, and I don't want any more food prices to go up. And my mother and I have some issues here and there, something we're not allowed to explain, but it's just hard for me to say. So I do apologize for all of you for it. I just felt down in the dumps for a couple of weeks or so. And yeah, I'm hearing the sad news about Angela Lansbury's passing. She will be forever missed. So I just want to apologize for all of you for that. That's for sure. And now we can finally move on to something else, and I have to do another movie review. And since 2022 is almost running out and 2023 is coming up, and we gotta find a way to make another year better without no more things going worse, if you know what I mean. So anyway, for my next movie review is Death on the Nile. And yes, it is a remake of the original film that came from in the 1970s, if memory serves me right. And yes, it is based by a book from the Monsieur Poisson's novels. And yes, there was another film before that, something about somebody got murdered on a train. Well, I'll tell you the truth is, I did spoil the ending on TV. Weird thing to say, but I haven't watched the whole movie of it. But I did see the trailer of it. But well, anyway, that was a long time ago. So anyway, let's get going on my next movie review called Death on the Nile. Well, let's head on to the main plot of the story. It's a story about this detective dude named Monsieur Poisson. He has to go on a vacation in Egypt, and somehow, some way, a young friend of his invited him to a wedding that he never got invited. I think it's a British dude who married a French lady, and they're gonna have a nice romantic life in their honeymoon, and this newlyweds invited these people to this very big ship that's pure white, and it looks a lot of fun to go to. And then one day there was a murder case on the loose. The bride got murdered by a mysterious killer that came out of nowhere. That's all I could say about the main plot of the story. I guess everybody wants to know is, what the heck do I think about this movie? Well, to tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, I really did enjoy this movie. It's a very good film to watch. And I will say, right off the bat, ladies and dudes, this movie and Black Light are the only two good films that I ever trusted in the year of 2022. They were the best films I ever watched for this year. Truly much better than all the films that came out later on. Because sadly, these films that came later on of this year is starting to become worse or very darn disappointing. It's a sad shame to know. Well, except for Dragon Ball Superhero. It'll be also becoming one of the best films of this year. Truthfully to say, well, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I will see that movie very, very soon. Whenever I can get there. So anyway, it had a pretty good storyline for the most part. The characters are likable. It has really good casting, good sceneries and highlight moments of the film. It had a very nice score. And there's a whole ton of mysteries going on here and there in the movie. That's for sure. And I think watching mystery movies is a perfect way to celebrate Halloween since, you know, when we watch movies here, there'll be something about who's the killer, who's responsible, and finding out who done it in the first place and all that stuff. So anyway, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my strongest points and the weakest points of Death on the Nile. I will say for the strongest points for this movie will have to be the first 15 minutes of the film. I really enjoy the main beginning of the movie. You know, where it took place and how it all happened, and we get to know Monsieur Poisson's storyline, you know, back in his youth. And also, there was a love triangle thing going on with the three characters, with one dude and these two chicks. And yeah, there was a weird sexual dance scene going on between that dude and this redheaded lady. I mean, are you sure you're allowed to add something sexy on the dance floor? That was a weird thing to see. And I like the part where Monsieur Poisson is trying to look at those desserts because he has no idea which one he wants to eat first. It looks really darn delicious in so many ways. I think he likes to eat sugar. I think he's a big fan of desserts. That's for sure. So I will say for the strongest point of the movie, it is truly the main beginning of it. Around 15 minutes. And I will say for the weakest points of the movie, this movie does drag a little bit. Somewhere around like, maybe somewhere around like first, third part of the movie. Well, it took place somewhere around the beginning and the close to the near middle part of it, I guess. Well, once the slowness will stop and the dragging will stop, it'll go back to its fast pace. So yeah, I will say this movie drags a little bit. That's for sure. And now let's go on to the characters. I'll just stick with one character. That'll be the easiest part of the movie. This guy right here. Monsieur Poisson. Played by our dear beloved Kenneth Branagh. And yeah, ladies and dudes, it is true. I think he is a French dude. Well, I never studied about French actors and actresses that much. But at least he did a good job of playing a really cool French detective who does have a really cool French accent. I'm sure he's French in real life. I never studied about this actor that much, but I do know this actor from a few films here and there, like Wild Wild West, The Road to El Dorado. Yeah, he was also in Tenet, but I refused to watch that movie, and Dunkirk. I only know him in those few films, here and there. But him as the main character of the film, he's very enjoyable to watch. I really love his personality, I love his attitude, and he does have a very sad storyline at the beginning part of the movie, so we can get to know him just a little bit more. You know, where he came from, and he was part of the First World War, and he has some friends there, and he lost a couple of them here and there, and he did get involved with an accident, and he had a first love in his life. Yeah, his storyline was pretty darn sad at the beginning of the story. But yeah, it is strange he got uninvited to a wedding to a couple he never got to know of. But he just saw them in the bar, and that was pretty much it. He only knows them in the bar, nowhere else. And yeah, it's up to him to solve the frickin' mystery of who the heck murdered the bride. And that was her right here, right there, played by the lady who played Wonder Woman. I'm surprised that she was a part of this movie. And I really like her character too, since she has a cool French accent. She's very lovely and talented. Yep, that's for sure. And everybody else did a really good job with their characters. That's for sure. Oh yeah, a strangest fun fact about this movie that there's one of these people who was one of the members of the YouTube group. I can't tell which one it is, to be honest, but I heard somewhere on a couple of the people's movie reviews here and there. So, I can't remember who this YouTuber is who's a part of this movie, surprisingly to say. That's all I could say about that. So, let's head on to my final thoughts of Death on the Nile. Overall, Death on the Nile is such a pretty good movie and one of the most underrated films that came out this year. I will say one of the best films I have ever watched in my whole entire life. Much better than the ones that I saw later on, or the ones I never saw. But I also love Blacklight, and coming soon I will do my movie review of Dragon Ball Superhero whenever I can get there. But yeah, Death on the Nile is a good movie to watch. I will say it had a pretty good storyline for the most part. The characters are likable, has good sceneries and highlight moments of the film. It had a really good score, and it has really good casting, and it's a very enjoyable movie to watch. So I decided to give this movie a 9 out of 10. Please check out this movie to believe it, or maybe you guys want to stay with the original one. The one I never watched, but I saw a picture of it in this Parade magazine thing back in February, if memory serves me right. So, that's my whole entire movie review of Death on the Nile. And tell me, ladies and dudes, what is the most underrated film that came out this year in the year of 2022? Well, whichever it is, leave a comment there, let me know, and join me next time for more movie reviews to come. I will do a few more here and there in 2022. But yeah, 2023 is going to be tough. About what will be my next movie reviews to come. It feels like I'm almost running out of movie reviews. But we'll wait and see what happens, ladies and dudes. I swear to that. If you know what I mean. And I'll see you all later, and sayonara!